Because the Lord is not a man that he should lie. The Lord said the thing or two, he's going to fulfill what he said. He's not going to say one thing and then do another. No, go on.
Numbers 23 and 19. Yahweh is not a man that he should lie.
Right, go on.
Neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it?
Right.
Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good?
Right, exactly. So the Lord is not a man that he should repent of his words. He's not going to take back what he has said. He's going to fulfill everything that he has said, pursuant to Isaiah 55 verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth, it shall not return unto me void. Okay? So the Lord is going to fulfill everything that's said. Concerning, Cornelius now. Cornelius was in the midst of the Lord because he had a man of the Lord that was sent to him. And he had an angel of the Lord that was sent to him. And his prayers were remembered. So as we read, Joel the 2nd chapter, the 27th verse, it says that I am in the midst of Israel and I'm the Lord their power. Alright? So like I said, when you put two and two together, and you connect them, and you all connect the dots, you would have to come to the conclusion that Cornelius was an Israelite. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do what James was saying in Acts 15. All right? So yeah, get Acts 15, brother. I'll tell you what, you can finish, matter of fact, you don't have to, yeah, get Acts 15 and stop with verse 15.
Acts 15 and 15. And to this agree the words of the prophets as it is written.
Yeah.
Verse 16. After this, I will return and I will build again the tabernacle of David.
And the prophet that he was referring to was the prophet Amos. Go on.
Which is fallen down.
Yeah.
And I will build again the ruins thereof, and I will set it up.
Right. So how would that be the case? Because see, James at the time, and a lot of the men at the time that were disciples or the apostles at the time, they thought that they was close to the end. So this is why, they were going off on certain things. Okay? But really, the way the tabernacle of David was going to be established, it was going to be established by a process of time, but not in that time. It's like right now, the tabernacle of David is in the process of coming together. Okay, but the tabernacle of David is going to be confirmed when David is on the scene. Okay, because when you have the tabernacle of David is established on earth, okay, or initialized on the earth completely, guess what? Israel's going to be on top. And every nation on the earth is going to be at the bottom. So we understand that right now, and even during the time of when James was on the scene, that wasn't fulfilled. Go on, brother. And James couldn't fulfill that.
This is the book of Amos chapter 9, verse 10. Yeah. And all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword.
No, it's 9 and 11. Amos 9 and 11.
Yep. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
And I will build it as in the days of old. So he said he will close up the breaches thereof, right? So how is the breaches being closed up? Meaning you're going to have a regathering of the tribes. So instead of having, two sticks, a northern kingdom and a southern kingdom, you're going to have one, they're all going to come together as one. That's in Ezekiel 37. Somebody, you can get that too. But finish what you got going.
This is Acts 16. Acts 15 and 17. That the residue of men might seek after Yahweh and all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called.
Right, on whom the Gentiles whom my name is called. So that's another, what is it, man? If you know, right, that's exactly like the brother said. That's a stumbling block right there. But if you're well versed in the scriptures and you understand the Bible, right? What kind of Gentiles would be called by his name? Is it the actual Gentiles? No, because the Lord never dealt with them. It was talking about Israelites. As it goes, when you read, Joel the 2nd chapter. It says in Joel the 2nd chapter that I'm in the midst of Israel, and I'm the Lord your power and none else. So if that's the case, right? If that's the case, then like I said, the Lord is going to fulfill what he said he was going to do. So read that verse one more time.
Acts 15 and 17, that the residue of men might seek after Yahweh.
And who are these residue of men? That's the elect of the Gentiles. Go on.
And all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called,
Right.
saith Yahweh, saith the Lord Yahweh,
Right.
who doeth all these things.
So these points got to stick out. So when you read the scripture, if you're well versed in the Bible, common sense is going to dictate, and your spiritual common sense as well. And you're going to realize, okay, that's talking about Israelites. That you, number one, it tells you in the Old Testament that you're going to have a remnant that's going to return back to the Father. It says Israel be as the son of the seed, or the remnant shall return. Okay, and then when you read Joel the 2nd chapter, as I'm going to mention again, it says that I'm in the midst of Israel, none else. So the Gentiles that was called by his name, they would have to be what? Israelites. Go on.
No, that's it.
All right. So what we can do here is you hold this one real quick. There's another scripture I'm thinking about, man. Spend me for 1 minute. Yeah, you can say something, brother, if you want. Or you can continue reading. About the 2 sticks. Oh yeah, get that. That's what I want you to get. Yeah.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 15.
Yeah.
The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick,
Right.
and write upon it for Judah,
Right.
and for the children of Israel, his companions.
Right. Go
Then
on.
take another stick, and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim,
Right.
and for all the house of Israel and his companions,
Okay. Go on.
and join them one to another into one stick.
Right, and join them one to another onto one stick. So that's showing you right there on how the house of David is going to be closed up, the breaches thereof. So what that's talking about is right now, because what you have across the world is you have brothers from the Northern Kingdom. Okay, you have so-called Latino brothers linking up with the brothers of so-called Negroid descent, which are tribe of Judah, kingdom of Judah, and also the kingdom of Ephraim is linking up together with them. So what's happening is the cords are tightening up and the breaches are being closed. So instead of 2 sticks, you have all of them being joined together as one. So that's a part of the tabernacle of David being established. Go on.
And they shall become one in thine hand.
Yep.
And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not shew us what thou meanest by these?
Right.
Say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh power, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph,
Right.
which is in the hand of Ephraim,
Okay.
and the tribes of Israel, his fellows,
Yep.
I will put them with him, even the stick of Judah,
Right, even the stick of Judah. Go on.
and make them one stick,
Yep.
and they shall be one in mine hand.
And you got certain guys, they actually think this is talking about an actual stick that you connect together. No, it's talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, and when you look up that word stick, the word there is plank, which is referring to what we have right here. This is what we would call a plank. All right, not walking around with an actual stick. It ain't talking about that. Okay. So that's how the house of David would be established as in the days of old. Now go back to Amos 9 and 11. Because when David was on the scene, all of Israel, from the northern kingdom to the southern kingdom, they were all in unity. Okay, what pretty much upsetted that unity is when I believe when King Solomon was on the scene, and you had Jeroboam and Jeroboam, and they both of them split up the tribes. All right, and ever since that point, they've been split. Go on, brother.
Amos chapter 9 verse 11. In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David,
Right.
that is fallen,
Okay.
and close up the breaches thereof.
Yep, we closed up the breaches there. That's like I said. That's the two the two heads, the two sticks, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, coming together. The so-called Negroes, all the way down to the so-called Latino Native American Indian. They're all going to come together and we're going to be in unity. All right, and that's happening right now. The process of the Tabernacle of David being restructured. And then it will be confirmed at the last with King David. Go on, brother.
And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Right, and I will build it as in the days of old. Okay? So when James was saying what he was saying about how he would return and rebuild the Tabernacle of David, he was going up because he's not going to rebuild it. The Spirit of the Lord is going to rebuild the Tabernacle of David, and then David is going to be on the scene. All right, and we're going to be ruling. Go on, brother. That's it on that. That's all I wanted.
Isaiah 10 and 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them.
Right, we're not going to stay upon the heathen anymore, the so-called white man, mainly because all of the nations at one point in time had a chance of smiting us, but we talking about Esau right now. All right, and it's going to come a time when we're going to depart from the dependency of Esau, and we're going to depend on the Most High. But it's going to start with the elect as it is yet this very day. Go on.
But shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel in truth.
Exactly. So we're going to stay upon the Holy One, Yahweh, of truth. And the way that we're doing that is by being in this truth, being in this faith. That's why we call it the truth. Go on, brother.
Verse 21. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the Almighty power.
So wait a minute. Now go get Acts 10. I mean, not Acts 10, Acts 15, and I believe it was 18 he was in. It just says that the residue of the Gentile shall seek after me, right?
Acts 15.
I believe it was 17 or 18.
15 and 17. That the residue of men might seek after the Lord.
Right.
And all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called.
Right, and see, that's what you gotta do. When you put these two scriptures together, man, it puts a smile on your face. All right, because now you getting the point. All right, the point is much more clearer when you go precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. That's why it says in the Psalms, I believe it is, it says on how man, what's the saying, man? It goes like I gain understanding through thy precepts. So that's how you get the understanding of what's being said here. It's by going through these precepts. Not reading like it's a novel book. Okay, I'm finished with chapter 1 now. We're going to jump into chapter 2. All right, we've read all the way down to chapter 2. Now we're going to go to chapter 3 and on and on. No. Okay, you got to connect. The Bible is like a puzzle book pretty much, you know? Yeah. Go on.
It says, that the residue, verse 17, Acts 6, 15 and 17, that the residue of men might seek after the Lord Yahweh, and all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called.
Exactly. Read that verse again one more time. I wasn't following.
Acts 15 and 17.
Yep.
That the residue of men might seek after Yahweh.
Right. That the residue of men might seek after Yahweh. Who are these residue of men? These residue of men would be the Gentiles. All right, go on. That James was dealing with. Go on.
And all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called, saith the Lord Yahweh, who doeth all these things.
Right, he doeth all these things. Go on.
Known unto Yahweh are all his works from the beginning of the world. That's it.
Okay, and that's how the Lord was making the actual Israelites and the Israelites jealous. He said, look, if y'all not going to listen, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you jealous. And I'm going to go to a people that are Israelites, but they're going to be more of a heathenistic fashion. And that's exactly what we did. All right. Okay, yeah, go on, brother.
Right, Romans 11 and 7, it says, what then? Israel hath not obtained that which it seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
And the rest were blinded. So even in these times, when we came into the truth, we didn't know we were Israelites. We all thought that we were, Black British or Jamaicans or West Indians. We didn't have a clue who we were. So we were, in Salakia, we were like those men that Paul went to and James and Peter went to. We were just like them. All right, but now we're being transformed and reformed into a new creature. And being that we're being reformed, we know who we are, we know the scriptures. Okay, we're now the prophets now. And being that we are the potential prophets of the Lord, now we gotta come out here and do this work. Okay, and declare to declare our people or the elect of our people who they are now. All right, and show them the precepts.
Verse 8. According as it is written, Yahweh hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day.
Exactly, because even back then, not every single Gentile of Israel, they didn't believe. You just had a residue of them that believed. Okay, go on, brother.
Verse 9. And David saith, let their table be made a snare and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them.
Yeah, meaning their doctrines, their belief systems, because I'm pretty sure they have belief systems. I'm definitely sure about that. So, but you had a residue that forsook their beliefs, which was false, and came to the true belief system, which was the resurrection doctrine. Go on, brother.
Verse 10. Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back always.
And bow down their back always, meaning they're gonna be in a state of humiliation at the end. All right, go on.
I say then, verse 11. I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall?
Right.
Yahweh forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles.
Exactly. See, that's the point. So read that one more time. Read that again.
Romans 11 and 11. I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall?
Yeah.
Yahweh forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles.
Right, rather through their fall. Now he's talking about the Israelites that do they were Israelites, the Jews. Okay, so if they fall from the belief system or taking heed, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to the Israelites that they know they were Israelites, and we're gonna teach them and reform them back into the fold. Go on, brother.
It says for to provoke them to jealousy.
Right, to provoke them to jealousy. You see? That's the point.
Verse 12, it says, now if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness?
Exactly. How much more their fullness is, man.
Verse 13, for I speak to you Gentiles, inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles.
Right, because that's exactly what he was. He was the apostle of the Gentiles. Why you think that the Lord gave him the Holy Spirit to speak in those tongues? Because that was his job. His job was to go around to these different lands where Israel was scattered abroad in the midst of, and to pretty much convert them back to the truth. Go on, brother.
I magnify mine office. Verse 14, by if any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh, and might save some of them.
And might save some of them. Again, the residue, the remnant, pursuant to Acts 15. Going all the way back to the scripture he quoted, brother, in Isaiah 10 and 22. Go on, brother.
Verse 15, for if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be, but life from the dead?
Right, but life from the dead. Go on.
Verse 16, for if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy.
Right, if the first fruit be holy, then the lump is holy. Because guess what? The men that come into this truth, they're the first fruits. So if they're the first fruits, then ultimately the other house, Salakia, ultimately the whole house of Israel is going to be holy. And that's why I believe it's in Romans 11, it says that all Israel shall be saved. All Israel is going to be saved by the elect. So once they bear the name of the elect, the holy men or the prophets, that's when the Most High is going to reconsider them as his holy people. All right, go on.
And if the root be holy, if the root be holy, so are the branches.
Exactly. Go on.
Verse 17, and if some of the branches be broken off, and thou, being a wild olive tree, were grafted in among them.
Right, now we're going into another parable. The wild olive tree is grafted in. Again, because the Israelites that lost their way, they became wild. And what makes you wild is when you don't have no laws and order.
Right.
So they've lost the laws and order of the Most High and became wild. But they can also become grafted in. You got a lot of guys out there, they don't understand this precept. They'll read this and think, oh, this is talking about everybody. This ain't talking about everybody. You gotta have the understanding. It says, with all thy getting, gain understanding. Give me that Proverbs think it's the 4th chapter. 4 and 5, I believe it is.
Continue.
No, wait there, wait. I want him to get that real quick, brother. You know, and that's just how it goes. You have to gain understanding because see, if the Lord said that He is the power of Israel, then we have to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Okay, if you can see it, if you have the spiritual tools to do so.
This is Proverbs chapter 4 verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing.
Right.
Therefore, get wisdom.
Yep.
And with all thy getting, get understanding.
So, what is the wisdom that you're going to dive into? The scriptures. So when you dive into the scriptures, guess what? You have to gain now the understanding part has to come into it. All right, and this is the understanding is that the wild olive or tree was grafted in. If I'm saying it correctly, read that again.
Romans 11 and 17.
Yeah.
And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou, being a wild olive tree, were grafted in among them,
right,
and with them partakers of the root and fatness of the olive tree,
right,
boast not against the branches.
Yeah.
But if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee.
Right, because what is the root? The root is the people or the Jews, the people that knew they were Israelites. That's the root. So don't be proud against them, because all of you is the Israelites anyway. But guess what? They're the founders of they kept the the doctrine, but you did it. So don't buck up against them, because you have some Jews that believed as well. You have some of them that believe, and you also have some Gentiles or Israelite foreigners that believe. All right, go on.
Verse 19. Thou wilt say then, the branches were broken off that I might be grafted in.
Right.
Verse 20. Well, because of unbelief they were broken off.
Right, because of unbelief they were broken up, and that was the multitude of the Jews. Because of unbelief they were broken up, so that the wild olive tree can be grafted in. And the wild olive tree obviously is referring to the Israelite foreigners and those that were scattered. So they became grafted into the faith. Okay, so instead of calling themselves Greeks or Romans or people from Cilicia, if I'm saying it right, they're now being reformed, and they're known as either the tribe of Judah or the tribe of Benjamin or Levi. All right, go on.
And thou standest by faith.
And thou standest by faith.
Be not high-minded, but fear.
But fear the Lord. So now they're being reformed back to their old paths. So give me the scripture where it speaks about the old path. The thing is in Isaiah. I believe it's Isaiah. What is it? Isaiah 33, I believe it is. Yeah, hold this for 1 minute, brother. Isaiah 30 and 14, I believe it is. Let's see. Yeah, let's try this. Yeah, if you got a precept, just read on.
Book of Isaiah chapter 30 verse 15. For thus saith the Lord power, the Holy One of Israel, in returning and rest shall ye be saved.
Well, what's that?
Isaiah chapter 30 verse 15. For thus saith the Lord power, the Holy One of Israel, in returning and rest shall ye be saved. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength, and ye would not.
The old ways, yeah. Yeah, that's the wrong precept, brother. My bad, though. My fault. Right. Jeremiah 6 and 16. Come on, man. Jeremiah 6 and 16 it is. Come on.
says Romans 11 and 21. For if Yahweh spare not the natural branches, take heed, lest he also spare not thee.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because what were the natural branches? The Jews, the Israelites that knew they were Israelites. Go on.
Verse 22. Behold, therefore, the goodness and severity of Yahweh on them which fell.
Right.
Severity.
Yep.
But toward thee, goodness.
Right, but towards the goodness. So the Lord had mercy on the Gentiles. Now, like I said, see, when I use the term Gentile, you're gonna automatically think, oh, that's talking about everybody that's a non-Jew. No, they ain't talking about that. It's talking about the Israelites that didn't know they were Israelites. And I gotta keep saying that so we can further bring home the point, because that's what it's talking about. All right, go on. I think that's it on that. You got what you got, right?
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 16.
Yep.
Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old path.
Right.
Where is the good way?
Right, where is the good way? So that's exactly what Paul was doing. Paul was reforming the Gentiles, the actual Gentiles, to the good way. Okay? The way that they've lost, the old path. So instead of them following after the traditions of their oppressors, now they're gonna follow the tradition of the Lord. As the scriptures, as we just read, it says, rather than them staying upon them that smote them, they shall stay upon the Lord. So that's been happening back then, and that's happening now. Go on, brother.
Start at 22 again. So Romans 11 and 22. Behold, therefore the goodness and severity of Yahweh on them which fell.
Yep.
Severity, but toward thee goodness.
Yep.
If thou continue in his goodness,
But if thou continue in his goodness, go on.
otherwise thou also shalt be cut off.
Yeah.
Verse 23. And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief,
Yep.
shall be grafted in.
Shall be grafted in. So if they decline from their unbelief, they will be grafted in. Just like how we was grafted in. We were Gentiles, and we became grafted into the faith. So the Lord had mercy on us. The Lord could have said, you know what? I'm just gonna shut the elect down, and I'm not gonna deal with Israel no more. That's why it tells you in the scriptures that we would have been in Sodom and Gomorrah, have it not been for the remnant. Meaning, in other words, we would have been destroyed for good. Okay, forever. Go on.
It says, for Yahweh is able to graft them in again.
Right, the Lord is able to re-graft them in again. So why did the Lord say graft them in again? Because all of Israel understood the truth at one time. But now in this stage of the game, in Paul's time, they didn't know the truth. A lot of these guys, all these people that were known as Israelite foreigners, Gentiles in the New Testament, they've lost their way. So now they can be returned back. Go on, brother.
Verse 24. For if thou wert cut off out of the olive tree, which is wild by nature, and wert grafted contrary to nature into a good olive tree, how much more shall these, which be the natural branches, be grafted into their own olive tree?
Exactly. Go on.
Verse 25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceit.
And this is why a lot of people don't understand the whole Gentile thing. Why? Because it's a mystery. Doesn't it say in the book of, what is it, Amos, the 3rd chapter, it says, the Lord doeth nothing but he revealeth his secrets to his servants, the prophets. All right, and also in Matthew 13, 9 and 10, it says, matter of fact, just go and get it, man. Because I'm quoting it, might as well go and get it. I'm only saying that because I ain't even say it right. Yeah, 13, 9 and 10.
The book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 9.
Yep.
Who hath ears to hear, let him hear.
Yep.
And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables?
Okay.
He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven.
That's it. So that's a part of the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. It's the understanding of the Gentiles, the breakdown of it. And who are the few that will understand these mysteries? The prophets. So if you really want to go deep, and who can read the Bible, or who are supposed to read the Bible, are the prophets, or the men that subscribe to the prophets. Those are the only men. Go on, brother.